Privileged to have you with us, Mr. Nair. Requesting you to please come on stage. The stage is all yours. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm delighted to be here amongst your midst because there's nothing more exciting than being with founders and investors who have guts to invest in founders. So it's an exciting thing for me to be here today. I'd like to congratulate the Venture Catalyst team for the kind of stuff they've been able to do over the last few years. And I heard one of them say that from multi-stage, they're now doing life stage. So I guess the next fund will be for funding our afterlife. I hope that will be the next thing they will announce. Now, I've been given a very little time, just 10 minutes, so I will not take longer than that. And I was told to share some of my experiences in my journey, which I'll happily do that. I know that as founders of startups and as investors in startups, you face many problems, many challenges as you went along. And there are multiple types of problems. So what I'll do is I'll try and tell you at a meta level what kind of solutions have worked for me. What have I learned from life so far? So there are 4 things I've learned. One of which is that it's very important to have a lot of passion. Because if you have passion, it can take you to any place you want to go to. The other thing is about integrity. Because that's the key to open the doors to whichever place your passion takes you to. The third thing is happiness. The pursuit of happiness is what helps you to succeed as a human being, as an entrepreneur, whatever it is. And lastly, what I've learned is that making money in your business or raising money to set up your business or grow your business is very easy. It's not rocket science. Now you might say, look, this is all flippant talk, but let me give you some examples. Let's start with passion, which is the first important thing. And no better way than to give you a story. So let me tell you the story of Wilma Rudolph. Wilma Rudolph is a black, poor American, born in a very poor family, a large family of many children. And at the age of 6, she was struck by polio. So she used to stand at the window and look out and see other children playing and having a ball. One day her mother saw her sitting there like this at the window and tears coming down. So she says, Wilma, why are you crying? She says, I wish I can go and play like them. I want to run like them. But I'm on crutches. How can I ever do that? So the mother said, if you really, really want to do it, you'll be able to do it. So that night she decided, I'm going to do it. So next day she went out to play and decided she'll do it without crutches. Obviously she fell after 2 steps. And as children are sometimes, they laughed at her. But she continued. And a week later was their annual sports day, and she signed up for the 50-meter run. She went 3 or 4 yards, or 3 or 4 meters. In the US, they still use feet and yards. They went 3 yards or so and fell down. And obviously, she dragged herself to halfway, but they couldn't complete. She kept competing year after year. And by the time she was in her last but 1 year of school, she was the school athletics champion. A polio-ridden child now has become a school athletics champion. And her passion was showing so much that the University of Tennessee's sports director and coach came down to her house and told her mother that, look, if you let her be under me, I'll get her university admission and she'll go places. This girl said, fine, but we don't have any money. There's no problem. But she's got so much passion. In a year and a half, she was on a flight with the American Olympic team to take part in Germany. And on that great day, an uncelebrated, unknown runner beat the fancied gold person who was supposed to win the gold medal. And she went on to win 2 more gold medals. So now she's 18 years old. At 6, she was a cripple. At 18, she's an Olympic gold medalist, 3 gold medals. Now, what's to stop any of you from doing it? What excuse do you have? If you have the passion, you can do it. Okay? The other thing is about integrity. In my companies, I haven't written a book of 5 pages or a booklet of 5 pages saying these are the things to do, these are not the good things to do. The thing I've done is very simple. I've said that each one can decide what is ethical. If you think something is unethical, you cannot do it. It's the company rule. If you think something is ethical, do it. That's the company rule. However, if something is a little gray and you think you need to consult somebody and ask them, is this the right thing to do? Is it ethical? It is not ethical, so don't do it. So with just these 3 simple things, we've managed all these decades to keep our nose clean and have a reputation which is very good. At every level, this is what they're told. There's no booklet about ethics. The third thing is about happiness. See, if you pursue happiness, you're going to make people around you happy. Your customers will be happy. Your vendors will be happy. Your team will be happy. Because it's infectious. But the question you'll ask me is, how do I become happy? I've got so many problems from morning to evening as a founder. And as an investor, I've got these fellows who are just not performing, and I'm being asked at every meeting, what the hell's happened to this great investment idea that you came up with? It's not going away. The thing is that the more you think about others and you give less time to think about yourself, you'll find happiness automatically coming. Because the more you think about your customer, you will be doing things and behaving in such a manner that the customer starts loving you. The more you think about others in your team and less about yourself, it'll automatically make them happy. You don't need any formula for it. Just tell yourself, I'll think less about myself and let me think more about the others around me. And you'll find that everybody else is conspiring to make you happy. When you're happy, you'll take clear decisions. Your thinking becomes clear. You've got more energy. At the end of the day, when you come home at 10 o'clock, you're still waiting to do that last bit which you were not able to complete earlier in the day. So happiness is easy to create. Just think about less about yourself and talk about others. And this is what actually I'm experiencing in life. And I promise you this is what's happening to me every day. And every day my colleagues make me happy. My customers make me happy. Everybody makes me happy. And I'm so happy all the while. And the fourth thing is about how easy it is to make money. If you're ethical, everybody stands by you. If you're ethical, your vendor will not charge you even 1 dime more than required. If you're ethical and you're passionate, they feel, look, I think I want to spend more time with these guys. If he gives me a chance, I'd spend time. So whatever happens is, whether it's an investor or whether it is about saying you'll get money. I'll give you might say, look, this is all theory. It's not theory. I've just tried to draw 4 lessons from what I've learned in my life and what's worked for me. For instance, recently I set up a e-bike company along with 2 other co-founders, and I just wrote to 12 people, just a WhatsApp, and saying, this is what we're doing, and this is the stage which we are. Prototypes are ready. Factory is almost ready. Would you like to invest? 10 of the 12 invested. There was no pitch made. We don't have a deck. We didn't make a pitch. They just said, tell me how much you want. We're funding your CV. And if you've selected 2 people as co-founders, they might be good. So we had no pitching, and we're funded. And now they're saying we want to put more money, and right now we don't need that much more money. But we would probably need another 6 months' time. So I'm telling you, these are practical things that actually work. This is not something from some book. And how can I tell you? You know, you live it once you start believing in these 4 things. If you are passionate, you're going to succeed. If you're not going to be passionate, it's not going to happen. And if you're passionate, show it. Integrity, don't compromise. Have 3 simple rules. Ethical, non-ethical. If it's a gray area, call it non-ethical. You have no problem in life. Try and be happy. And make others happy. They'll make you happy. Or life at home also will be good. Because the entrepreneur's life is very stressful. You don't have much time for your family. So your little kid doesn't get time. I remember my daughter was provoked by somebody saying, I know your father is successful, but you know, he doesn't give you time. This little girl who was only 6 years old said, you know, auntie, he gives us quality time. And I don't know how a 6-year-old could say that, but I'm just saying that everybody feels your presence, your happiness. So just think of these 4 things and I can assure you, you will succeed. Now, I've been told that there are 5 minutes for question answers. If there isn't, I'll be quite happy to respond to questions that you send to me by WhatsApp. The team here has my number. I have to rush for another meeting where we are trying to evaluate a very interesting startup, and they're waiting for me. So if there are 1 or 2 questions, I'm happy to take it. Otherwise, I will promise to respond to your question if you ask me. Great, you've been a great audience. Thank you very much for having me here. Bye.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nair. I would request Palak to please get the memento for Mr. Nair. Thank you so much. I would request Gaurav Jain, if you can please come up on the stage to felicitate Mr. Nair. Thank you, Gaurav.
Just one
Mr. Nair,
small,
Mr. Nair.
Raj, one second. So Raj is a person, I'm sure you must be hearing some noises in the market, some company goes down, a unicorn goes down. He's the one who is working with those companies now after the VC funds have written them off. So I can't name those companies, but he's the one who is reviving those companies from that stage to EBITDA positive. And I know one of those cases, and that's why I brought him here today. So, you know, this is one great learning I have with him. Thank you, Raj, for being with us. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank